What up, Homedawgs? My name is Gokey Gamer, coach of the Milwaukee Medichams, and welcome everybody to week 3 of the MGL, where this week we're going to be going up against none other than Zach Mander, coach of these Canadian Sarah Ledgers. Here are the teams. Flap. Overall, this is definitely a very, very scary team, but I'm very excited about it. I'm actually doing something a bit more different with my prep this time. I initially had Bronzor on this team, but I was worried about it being too passive, especially with Duosion there. Basically, this team, I'm hoping I can just break stuff. I have a phaser, I have a couple of phasers actually. I have a knockoff user and like Toxic Spike Setter in Tentacool, and then my Marshtomp is a phaser, but everything else is meant to just click buttons. So hopefully we're able to accomplish that here. Good luck, have fun to my opponent. As always, we're gonna see Dracloak, Duosion, Pignite, Toadscool, Trumpbeak, and Coughing. This is more or less what I expected. I am a bit surprised not to say Tinkatink. I thought Tinkatink had a really great matchup into me. No Charjabug is also very interesting. This is actually literally top 6, which is very cool. So I'm very tempted to lead Cool-Headed here, just so that way I can get off a Toxic Spike. I think that's pretty valuable here. I could also lead Equilibrium, but I don't think that's the right play. I could even lead Echo Form, but I don't think Echo Form is the play here either. FTL could also honestly be solid, especially if there is a Dracloak on screen. So I might end up doing that low-key. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and lead Pikipek here. I think Pikipek could be really, really solid. And then if they lead a Scarfer, then it'll tell me what that Scarfer is. So I'm going to go ahead and make this lead. Good luck, have fun with my opponent. As always, let's freaking do this. Alrighty, here we go, baby. We love to see it. Let's see what my opponent leads. Oh, yeah. We are going to go ahead and see Beak Blast. That's going to be Trumpbeak. So Trumpbeak is the lead, which makes sense. This is probably one of the scariest mons here. I'm very tempted to just click Brave Bird, because actually a Brave Bird against the Trumpbeak, if it's like offensive Trumpbeak, it kills. I would think that is very funny if I'm able to one-shot an evolved Pokemon. I don't think this is going to be Eviolite. I would be shocked to see this be Eviolite. I really don't think it will be. So I'm going to go ahead and you know what? I'm going to say frick it and just nuke this thing. I'm going to go for a Brave Bird here. I'm going to go for Brave Bird and just nuke this. Please, I beg of you stay in. That'd be so funny. Let's see. We're going to see a U-turn. So they are Scarf. Okay, that's really good information to have. So the Trumpbeak is Scarf. That's really good to know. So we're staying in and we're going for a Brave Bird here. I really wish I went for U-turn. U-turn would have been the better play, obviously, but this is really good information to have. We're going to see Wally Ball. That's going to be the Coughing. So Coughing switches in. That makes a lot of sense. We're going to go for Brave Bird. We don't see a thing, so my guess is this is actually Levitate, I think. This seems like it's Levitate. So I'm going to go ahead and switch out here. I'm going to go into Cool-Headed here. That's just my play that I make, and I'm feeling very safe with that. I think this is Levitate, because otherwise the other two abilities we would have seen trigger, so that's really good. Let me just double check that actually. Coughing, it could be Stench, but why would you run Stench over Levitate? If it was neutralizing gas, it would have revealed it at this point, so seeing Levitate here is absolutely phenomenal. We're gonna go ahead and swap out into our Tentacool. We're gonna swap into the Tentacool here. Bada bing, bada boom. Love to see it. Let's see what they go for here. We were going to see a Sludge Bomb. That's going to do nothing to me. That's going to do diddly squat. Literally diddly squat. We're going to go for Toxic Spike here, just for fun, because I can and I want to. And we're going to have some fun. We're going to set up a Toxic Spike. There we go. Love to see it. Alright, so we're going to see the Poison Spike scattered around. Let's see. They go for Thunderbolt, which is very interesting. So, mad respect to that. I think here what I'm going to do, I could click Knockoff here, and I'm going to, you know what, I will go ahead and click Knockoff now. Because if I can knock off this thing's, if this is Eviolite, which it seems like it possibly could be. So I'm going to go ahead and knock it off, just so that way we can, like, get some intel on that. That would be very, very nice. If they opt to switch out, that's fine. I'm okay with knocking off whatever wants to switch in here. So this is honestly a pretty solid situation. If this gets knocked off, then it's no longer a check for Pikachu, which is kind of my point. Also, I just realized my microphone audio seems to be a bit messed up, so hopefully it's okay. I guess we'll see. We're going to knock off what's possibly the Eviolite here. Yes, it is going to be the Eviolite. That's great. So we're going to see a Will-O-Wisp. That's fine. So we've seen Thunderbolt, Sludge Bomb, Will-O-Wisp. So Pain Split's probably your last move if I had to guess. I think what I'll go ahead and do, I might go ahead and swap out here, because clearly you don't want to switch out. So I think, what do I want to do here? You know what? I will Flip Turn, and I'm going to Flip Turn into my Marshtomp here. I'm going to Flip Turn into Marshtomp here. I really like this play a lot. Keeping Tentacool around for Rapid Spin shenanigans I think is really valuable. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm going to go ahead and go into Cold Snap here. If we can set up the rocks, that's phenomenal. And then also if we can go ahead and get whatchamacallit, the Toad School, like, even if Toad School comes in, Equilibrium's a perfect check for that. So I think what I'm going to do here, I could click Roar, honestly, because I doubt you stay in versus me. I think clicking Rocks here is pretty reliable. We could see a Duosion switch. We could, you know what, no, I think I'm going to Whirlpool, actually, because I want to be able to trap something if possible. I'm going to Whirlpool. And if this thing gets trapped, that's great. Oh my gosh, this thing gets trapped. That's crazy. So, yeah, this thing is just going to suffer here. We're going to see Pain Split, that's fine. I'm okay with that. That is okay with me. Yup, you are now trapped and on the field with me, which is great. Love to see that. I'm going to immediately set up my rocks. We're going to set up our rocks here. Bada bing, bada boom. Love to see it. Yup. So we have a layer of Toxic Spikes and a layer of rocks. That's massive for me. We're going to see a Will-O-Wisp here. They're going to miss their Willow, unfortunately. So I think here what I'm going to do, we see that. That's fine. I think I might go for Whirlpool again, just to reveal that. Yeah, I'm going to go for Whirlpool again. Not that reveal, but you get my point. We're going to miss, unfortunately, but that's okay. That's fine by me. We're going to see another Pain Split. That's fine. That's not going to do that much damage to me. We do have Rest, but I kind of want to keep that in the back. So just a little bit longer. I think we're going to see another Pain Split here. So you know what? I could Roar, actually. And I think I will Roar. I will go ahead and Roar here. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to see a Sludge Bomb. That's fine. Yeah, keeping Marshtomp, like, as a check for this is phenomenal. So we're going to go ahead and click Roar. We're going to immediately send this thing out. Hopefully we get Trumbeak in. Trumbeak coming in here would be phenomenal. So let's see it. We're going to go ahead and see the Trumbeak. Speaking of, absolutely amazing. So you're going to immediately take a lot of damage from the hazards. So that's great for me. Now I think... here's the thing, right? I want to keep Tentacool around. I definitely want to keep Cold Snap around for sure. I guess I don't need to keep Tentacool around, but do I want to let anything go? And if I do, what do I want to let go? I think I might, you know what? I think I'll go into Equilibrium here. I'm going to go into Equilibrium. I think this is okay. Because you're obviously Scarf, so you're not going to deal that much damage. If you go for Brave Bird, that's fine. So you're not Banded, you're not Life Orb, which is great for me. We're going to go into this thing. We're going to see Bullet Seed. Perfect. This is exactly what I wanted to do. So you're going to go for Bullet Seed, that's fine. We get a free Dragon Dance up, which is absolutely phenomenal. And the nice thing here is Outrage is extremely spammable because there is no of the thing. So I think, honestly, what I might do here, low-key, well, honestly, I could just click Dragon Claw. Okay, I can click Dragon Dance, I can click Dragon Claw. There's a lot of things I can do here. They can't go into Dracloak. I think Duosion might be the check for this. Let's see, how much damage do I do against Duosion? At +1, a max HP, max defense build, Outrage 2 shots. So that's really awesome. I think you have to switch out here. I think you're going to go into Duosion here, so I think what I want to do, I think I'm going to go into Cool-Headed on that play, because you're obviously Scarfed. So, and you don't know that I know that you're Scarfed. You don't know that I know that you're Scarfed, so I think what I might end up doing here, I could also go into Picky Peck. Honestly, Picky Peck is pretty solid too, because being able to click Knockoff on something is pretty nice. Do I want Cool-Headed around? I think Cool-Headed is my play. I'm going to go into Cool-Headed. I think you're going to swap. I think you have to swap here. Yeah, you have to swap here because I revealed that I'm happy to switch him to Shelgon. We're probably going to see Wally Ball. That's going to be the Coughing again. So Coughing is going to be the swap. That's okay with me. I'm immediately going to go for a Flip Turn with the Tentacool, and then I'm going to go into Marshtomp, because I think Marshtomp is a pretty free swap here. So we're whittling down this team very effectively, which is great. The burn is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Tentacool's already putting in a lot of work, which we love to see. So I'm going to go ahead and click Flip Turn here for free, because I can and I want to. Bada bing, bada boom. Marshtomp is obviously going to come in. It's probably going to tank a Pain Split, but if it does, that's fine. We're going to reveal that every time Coughing comes in, Marshtomp gets a free switch, basically. I'm guessing you're probably going to go for a, like, thing. You probably won't want to get trapped by Whirlpool again, so we're going to see a Thunderbolt. Perfect, that's fine by me. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click Whirlpool. Do I click Whirlpool here? Yes, I think I do click Whirlpool here because of the fact it shouldn't kill unless you go for Pain Split, and if you go, makes no sense for you to go for anything else. So I'm going to go for Whirlpool here. I want to keep Rest in the back. We are going to go for Whirlpool. Bada bing, bada boom. Beautiful. Does a small chunk of damage. Let's see the Pain Split most likely showing off here. Yep, we're going to see Pain Split. That's fine by me. Absolutely fine by me. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to click Rest. I'm going to reveal that I have it, because there is zero reason for me not to at this point. I think, right? Yes, I'm going to click Rest here. You could go for Pain Split here, but if you do, that's honestly fine. I'm going to go for a Rest. Bada bing, bada boom. We reveal that we have it. And if you go for an attack, that's best case scenario. Let's see what they want to do. We're gonna see a pain split. Yep, that makes sense. So we're gonna see, we lose a decent chunk of our HP, but we're back up pretty high, which is great. And you're still taking even more damage from Whirlpool. You can't switch out at this point, so I'm actually going to go into Cool-Headed here, on the off chance that you click Pain Split again, and then I'm just going to keep doing some of those shenanigans. That's what I'm going to do here. Basically, I revealed that your Coughing can't beat my Marsh Top here at this point. So that is really, really good information to have. We're going to see a Sludge Bomb. That is fine by me. So Sludge Bomb, that's fine. We're going to get burned a little bit more. I don't want to go for another Spike because of the fact that Toadschool's still there. I want to keep Cool-Headed from switching in as much as possible now. I think there's a good chance that they swap here. They don't. We just stay in and go for a flip turn. That's fine. So we're probably gonna. There's a good chance we see a Pain Split here. I think a Pain Split makes a lot of sense. I think what I do here still is I just go into Cold Snap just so that way I avoid getting Willowed. So Cold Snap is going to be the switch. That is fine by me. Bada bing, bada boom. We're gonna see Thunderbolt. Yep. Nope. You're not doing that. I'm always going to switch it to Marsh Top every single time here. I think what I'm going to do here is I will go ahead and click. I'll just click Whirlpool here. This should be one turn of rest. We are going to see the swap. That makes sense. So let's see what the check is for this now. Is it going to be Trumbeak? It's going to be Spin him away. That's going to be the Toadschool. So Toadschool's going to come in. That's fine. We're probably going to see. We do see that they're hazards. So that's really good for me. We're going to see that they're poison. We're going to see the Pointed Stones dig in, which is great. We're gonna see that we stay fast asleep. This gives me a free or a free switch into my, whatchamacallit? It gives me a free switch into my Shelgon, which is great. I am a big fan of that. So we could even see a Rapid, honestly, we could see a Rapid Spin. I think Rapid Spin makes the most sense. I actually am going to go into FTL. I don't think you click Spore here. I don't think you click Spore on a sleeping Marsh Top. I think you're either going to click Giga Drain or Rapid Spin. It's going to be one of the two. So we're gonna go into FTL, bada bing, bada boom. Beautiful. So we're going to go into that. We're going to see a knockoff, actually, so that's a bit unfortunate. But we do live! We do live, which is great. So I think here what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and click U-turn now. Piggyback at this point is pretty sackable, but you know what? It's fine. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead. Now they know for sure that I know about their Scarf, so that's really good information to have. I think you have to save this, right? Surely you have to save this. I'm clicking U-turn. We're going to see that they outspeed me, actually. They go for an Energy Ball, so that's fine. I'm okay with that. So we've seen that. This actually, because I doubt your Eviolite. Let's see, Toad's cool. I mean, even if you are Eviolite, like, knockoff still does a chunk to you. Equilibrium can just click Temper Flare. I'm going to go into Equilibrium here. Yeah, that's a very free button click. You have to, if you stay in, you lose, basically. I'm going to Dragon Dance here. If you stay in, you lose at this point. So I don't care about losing my Eviolite here if you go for a knockoff. If you go for this, you lose. So you have to switch out here, basically. Otherwise, Shelgon straight up wins this game. We already see the knockoff, so they do stay in. We reveal that we lose the Eviolite, but that's fine. I'm clicking Dragon Dance, and I am set up sweeping in your face. Now, we could see Mirror Herb Dracloak, but if it is Mirror Herb Dracloak, I think I outspeed that. So, or at least I should, right? I assume I outspeed Dracloak at this point. I don't. So actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to click Dragon Dance again. You don't want to stay in. You do stay in. My guess is you're going for Spore then. I think you're going for Spore, forgetting that I have Overcoat. So let's see what they want to do to counter this. Do we see Earth Power? So they're just going for raw damage. That's fine. I'm okay with that. So, okay, we can't take another one, unfortunately, but we're at +2 now, so that's great. I'm going to go ahead and click Dragon Claw. I don't want to lock myself into the other move yet. We're going to lock out the Toadschool, which is fantastic for Pikachu. The reason I'm doing this is because I don't want to lock myself into Outrage yet. I will have to against, like, Pignite and Duosion, which most likely comes in here. We'll see if the Duosion is Magic Guard or Regen as well, which will give us a lot of good intel. I'm hoping it's Regen, because if it's Regen, then it's going to struggle a lot more in this fight. We're at +2, though. We're thriving here at this point. The Dracloak, if it hasn't come in yet, then it's not Scarf, basically. So that's really good for us. Shelgon's either going to deal a crap ton of damage to something, or it's going to pick up a lot of kills. And I'm hoping for one of the two, basically. Potential is going to be, I believe that's Pignite? It is Pignite. So Pignite's going to be the swap. You are going to get poisoned. Let's see. Outrage should just straight up kill an offensive variant. So I'm clicking Outrage. This also tells me you're not Scarf on your whatchamacallit, so that's awesome. We're going to go for Outrage. Pignite dies. Shelgon is going to go crazy here. Let's freaking go. Again, I apologize if my audio is messed up. I'm a bit worried about that right now, but there's nothing much I can do about it. I'm already in the battle, so we'll see how it goes, but we're already in a really good situation. Coughing is going to be the switch. Coughing is going to go down to this because you don't have your Eviolite anymore, so that is really great for me. We're going to go for another Outrage, and it's going to KO this Coughing. This is a really great situation for me. We were going to go for an Outrage. Hopefully we get one more. That'd be pretty awesome. Outrage is going to kill the Coughing, so that is another kill for Shelgon. Let's see it. Do we stay in Outrage? We do. We do stay in the Outrage, which is absolutely amazing. Beak Blast is going to be the Trumbeak. If Trumbeak goes down, that's absolutely phenomenal. So hopefully that ends up happening. Outrage, bada bing, bada boom. Let's go. Trumbeak is also going to drop. Absolutely phenomenal for me. Holy crap. So all that's left is Dracloak and Duosion. So Shelgon putting in the work, dude. Shelgon going absolutely crazy. Now granted, it's not over yet. Duosion and Dracloak are the scariest Pokemon on the opponent's team. So this could go really south really quickly. We're going to see that they do get toxic, but it does seem to be that they're magic guards. That's unfortunate for me. I think I'm going to lock myself into Outrage again. I think that's just what I'm going to do here. I'm going to lock myself into Outrage. I don't care. Hopefully we land. Let's see. Come on, Shelgon. I believe in you, buddy. I believe in you, Shelgon. Let's go! Shelgon clutching up. Once again, oh my gosh, Duosion just drops. That's crazy, actually. I was not expecting that. So all that's left is Dracloak. We love to freaking see it. And at this point, I should just win the game, I think. Now, granted, Dracloak is, like, you know, is a scary Pokemon. Shelgon could pick up the kill here against it, but also, you know, who knows? We'll see. Let's see what... Oh my gosh! Equilibrium! Clutching up! Shelgon, sweet baby! Let's go! Finally breaking tradition where I lose every single game to Zach in the regular season. And also picking up our first W in the MGL. Absolutely love to see it. A massive win for me. Absolutely massive. We freaking love to see it. I did get very lucky there. Obviously, if I hit myself in confusion, then that fight definitely would not have been as, like, cut and dry. But Shelgon just knocking out 3 Pokemon for free, was 4, actually, 4 before getting confused, was insane. But I did knock out 3 for free, basically, because also Toadschool couldn't do anything to it. So, absolutely insane. Shelgon is an insane Pokemon in this format. I'm really glad that I brought it here. I think it had a really amazing matchup, and I'm glad it did stuff. So, shout-outs to Shelgon for putting in the work. I think that was a 6-0 sweep for Shelgon, which is crazy. Thank you all so much for watching. I really, really hope you all enjoyed. We are making a comeback, baby. Love to see it. Let's go! Please be sure to check out my opponent's channel down in the description below as well. Very, very hyped that we won this, but Zach Maynard is an absolutely amazing person, lovely, lovely battler, and lovely, lovely person, lovely, lovely coach, and an absolutely stellar battler. Again, this is like my first regular season match I've won against him, so that should tell you something. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I really, really hope you all enjoyed. Be sure to check out my opponent down in the description below, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Peace out, mates!